Come on, that's when it really gets hype. We need to just like drag
I
that out.
know. We need to use it to play while we're here, and
Right,
then
just
just
keep
let
it
the people
going.
Run
see us
all the way through the
get
show.
it,
I
get
know,
it
right?
in.
Just that'll be our soundtrack while we like doing the show. Hey guys, welcome to the Bob the Blerd Official Podcast. We're just here. We're just coming in. We always get addicted to the theme song. It's an amazing bop that we found. I think Christy found the music and then I like remixed it.
Put a
Christy
little
and
remix,
Dana.
put a little,
We like did a little
little track.
remix. Yes,
No
yes.
help. No help from Diddy.
No help.
Ah,
Thank
I was
the Lord.
wondering, we should have
Thank
taken some wagers
the
to see how long it was
yeah.
going to come, it was
Oh,
going to take for that to come up.
honey, we gonna talk about it because
Damn,
you know that
It's like
bombshell.
acid reflux. It's just
We are of a certain
I
age.
can't.
The 1990s and the 2000s were our years. Are
The
like that we were at the
2000s.
club, and
Mhm.
obviously that's all of that is so shocking. So we'll come back to that in a second. We got a lot of things to discuss, guys. We haven't been around for a while. We've been traveling. We've been Comic-Con.
Busy.
It's just been amazing. But we are here. We're happy. And guys, I gotta introduce my co-host, Hilton George. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I got my mid-range stash, my winter stash coming in, nice
Come
and
on, winter
even.
stash.
You know, trying to get my,
Mid-range.
this the
Fall
trying to get it in
facials.
here a little bit. Get my Klingon connector here and here. So I'm feeling good about the progress. I feel like little Wakandan Shay would come in
Yes.
here and
What?
kind of get that all smooth. That's what I'm waiting on. So this is my winter
None of us
project
know,
right
Christy.
here.
None of us know the Wakanda Shay. I see it's like a whole thing. We setting trends up here at the BOP, y'all. At the
Trendsetter.
BOP, trendsetter. Well, I am glad you and your stash are here. It's been a long time,
Well
and we
Well
missed you, Hilton. We missed you. Christi Renee, how you doing?
Honey, I'm happy. It's sweater weather. It's
Yes.
finally sweater weather.
Oh, I wish.
So I am happy in these New York area streets, child,
Dang.
for the fall weather coming in,
Mhm.
and it's spooky season, so I'm
It's
ready.
officially fall. Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm jelly because it is not nothing here. It's still 85 degrees in LA. And
Well,
like
you're a couple of time zones behind, so it's just gonna take y'all a minute to catch up.
let me just say this. We are officially like 2 to 3 weeks out from New York Comic-Con. I am so ready
So come
to
on.
like get to New York because that's when I know it's fall. It's fall. I gotta pack my little sweaters and my hoodies and
Yes.
and then you and I, Christy, are going to London,
Jet set.
England.
We
We're
are
going
jet
to go to
setting.
MCN,
Oh,
London Comic-Con.
darling.
We are going to
Darling.
London. Like we literally, Hilton, this is the crazy schedule that we have. We've got New York, which is a 4-day crazy show. Nobody gets any sleep. It's insane. I go home on Monday and we
2
leave
days.
on Wednesday. We only have 2 days. We got like
She's gonna go from New York, from
Uh-huh.
coast to coast, back,
Yeah.
and then back
I
past
know.
the coast.
But you
on
know
over.
why? You know
Or
why?
wherever that
Because
is.
it when I travel at shows, I have a whole array of merchandise. So it's
like
not
the
like
restock is real.
the restock is real. And after you do New York, and then it's like you don't know. And so I haven't been to
You got 3
London.
days to restock for London. Now, how are you gonna get all that stuff to London?
Well,
in
we're
3 days?
shipping a lot of stuff, but we're also taking stuff. So it's going to be a heavy bags.
It'll be a lot.
There'll be a lot of stickers and pins and ballpoint pen caps.
Peaches and herbs.
We're going to be it's going to be amazing. But we're doing that, and then it doesn't even end there because we come back to the States on like Monday or Tuesday. And we leave again 2 days later and go to
where is it? Carolina. It's one of the Carolinas.
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
We're going to Charlotte, and I have a Comic-Con. For 1 day. But it's like this one show, and it's an amazing store, and like 100 people show up, so it's gonna be busy. But Christy and I, we literally fly in, do the show, and we get on a plane and we leave, and then we rest for a week.
See, this one, the flight attendants are recognizing you, and I'll be like, "Oh, you again? Hey, what's up, Cindy? How you doing?" Get a little extra Nilla wafer, and you.
Yeah,
oh my
TSA
God.
knows me. They know me.
I mean,
they know
LaGuardia
me
knows me. I come through now. Yep, I'm back.
Yeah, they know me. They know me in the American Lounge. They know me. I'm just, I'm a LAX.
She
girl.
bougie, honey. I ain't there. I can only go when she around, but
but I get you in, right?
Gets me in benefits. I'm not playing with nobody else that ain't got no benefits.
Yeah, if you ever travel, I found out I can have 2 guests, so you too can get into the lounge with us.
Yeah, but see, I got to be flying with y'all.
Like
I can't just be dropping your name and you ain't at the airport.
No,
they'll be like, "Sir, that's not how this works."
Yeah, you gotta be hanging with us. Well, guys, so much has been going on, so freaking much that it is like I feel like we're living like in the Matrix. Like it's one of those situations where every day is a headline. Every day is a headline, and literally, guys, this is breaking news. It hit 26 minutes ago. This is coming from the Lincoln Project Group. You guys know them. Yes, they criminal charges filed against Trump and Vance in Springfield, Ohio.
Ooh,
yes,
Lord.
It is. Yes, the leaders of the nonprofit Haitian Bridge Alliance filed charges against former President Donald Trump and his running mate JD Vance for the chaos that ensued from their uncorroborated statements about immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, eating pets. According to the Cleveland law firm representing the agency, like this just Baroque.
Yeah.
Charges are filed.
Good.
See, this is why you need Black people on your staff, Trump. Because see, Black people would have known not to be messing with Haitians, not 20,000 of them. You know, they something that's gonna clap back is gonna come your way. You should have known better. They're not playing around.
Well, and for those of y'all who don't know, we'll run it back for 1 second. There was, the big debate that happened. Over 70 million people were watching. Probably the biggest debate as far as ratings go. And, Kamala was strategic as hell. And she literally baited him every chance she could. And he took the bait.
She got him to admit to ordering the code red. And
yes.
But it was like that. It was that moment.
It was that moment, right? And so because of that, he started spinning and spinning and spinning. And y'all know when he's backed against the wall, he's like a rat. He is a vicious creature that just starts freaking out, right? Exactly. And he started going off. And one of the things he went off is a conspiracy theory about Haitians in Springfield, Ohio. There was some woman who called, her cat was missing, and she said, I think my neighbor ate it. My Haitian neighbor ate it. Well, the story had been debunked. It had totally been like, this is not true. And, but he repeated it anyways.
Yep.
And his running mate, they doubled down. And for weeks, they have been literally spreading misinformation, racist misinformation about the Haitian community that are legally in the United States. Are here legally. They can vote. They are here. And
they were, that's the thing. They didn't just gravitate to Springfield. The jobs that were open and were not being filled due to the manufacturing that was growing in Springfield, all good news. They said, we need skilled workers to come. And they specifically reached out and recruited these Haitian families to move to Springfield. Now, yes, there's a lot of people moving to a small city, and there's a lot of housing issues that come along with that. But these are things that can be easily solved. But they were invited, they are legal. And how did they end up in Trump's mouth is one for the ages.
Child, the desperation. It's just, but like you said, you already called it. He gets backed into a corner that literally he comes from a hole in the. It's just the hateful rhetoric has been horrible. That whole, you're right. That moment was so iconic. And you just depicted it perfectly, Hilton, when you said like it's the code red. It was the you can't handle the truth moment. And it was like, I ordered it, you goddamn right, I ordered it. Like I know that whole script. I love that movie. I watched that movie faithfully. That's what is it called again? Say what it is. Lord have mercy.
Few Good Men.
Few Good Men. Tom Cruise, come on. And the iconic scene. Like that is exactly what went down. I think it's brilliant. And again, that's what intelligence is capable of. Intelligence, which is what this woman, our future president,
she's a prosecutor in the biggest state in the country and the fifth largest economy in the world.
Beyond,
and you telling me she can't don't know how to badger a witness?
Yeah, exactly. She
For real.
literally badgered him into
Yeah.
that whole moment, and getting what we've gotten from that. It's just incredible. I'm really proud in this moment for
Yes.
that community and at large, just because, again, they brown skinned, black and brown skinned people that look like us, and we need that.
Yeah.
We need this transparency as we go into this incredibly crucial time in
Oh,
this country, in this world, because it's a lot of stuff going down, and we'll get to
it's
some
so
other
much.
things that have come out. Just we've got a lot of distractions, lots and lots of distractions going on just in this particular governmental space. But again, it spans globally.
Yeah.
And it says a lot, and people are looking, they are watching, since we, think that
Yeah.
we are the leaders in the whole, universe. Well, these are the moments that matter.
Yeah.
These are the moments that matter, and this is tough.
Yeah.
It's
What was very sad about the whole situation is that the mayor, the governor, all these people came and were like, no, this is a false story.
everybody
No,
spoke
this has
up.
been excellent for this city. This city was like dwindling, and this has been the surge we needed. No, this isn't true. Even the person who reported that came out and was like,
He was
our
like,
cat
oops.
showed up 2 days later. It's like total like Emmett Till kind of situation. Like, oops,
Oh,
I
that's
just
criminal.
did a
It's
false
supposed to be
report.
criminal.
It should be, right? And so it's just so sad because, like, of course they've been getting harassed. They, like, for days the schools were getting bomb threats. Like, I mean, it was just craziness.
Mayhem.
So
Yeah.
mayhem, the chaos, and it's like you have literally ruined someone's life just because you want to. And
There's real
it is
damages due to the misinformation, the lies, and if an individual did this to another individual in the streets, these charges are the ones that you could bring. And that is what's so amazing about this, is that this community is so organized and so legit that, like, see, if these were undocumented immigrants who were kind of hiding, and living between the raindrops, they could never come together like this. But because everybody's legal, because there's an association and there's, civic groups and organizations that are there that service them both nationally and locally, they've got representation. They have real community to come together. They got meetings. You know what I'm saying? They got on Zoom, and
it's something to marvel for sure.
Yeah.
So this is interesting news. I did not. This was breaking. She didn't tell us. I was in the shower. I missed all of this. So
I literally was like,
I didn't know about that. It's real news.
Well, I opened my phone looking for something and was like, oh, and I was like, okay, we got breaking news. So yeah, it's insane. But going more deeper into the misinformation station, this is the reason why, you guys, like, you cannot get your news from social media. You cannot get your news. Like, you need to honestly, even if you watch one network, you should watch multiple networks so that you have a diversified opinion of what is really going on. And it's one of those things is, don't go on your pages and lives and this and just start spouting stuff that you don't know whether it's true or not, right? It's very important to be careful. Janet Jackson.
You got to come up every few days also and pay attention.
Janet Jackson let us down. It was reported a few days ago that she was, on a blog. She was on a news. She was promoting her concert tour. She's got a concert tour that she's doing. I think a residency in Vegas, and she's doing a bunch of stuff, right? Promoting her tour. And out of nowhere, she was asked, if she was excited about the potential of a Black woman being president. And she was like, took it upon herself to say that, Kamala Harris was not Black. She heard she was Indian. And then she goes and went further.
Her father's white.
And basically said, didn't they find out that her father was white? And that, so, the Black community and just everybody, it was all of the news were kind of like baffled, and they were upset. People were basically like, this is fake news. Like, this isn't easily, you can figure out who her father's still alive, but you could easily figure out what her heritage is, and why are you repeating?
We have photography of her father. He's Black.
Come on.
No question.
And
her mother, and this is the crazy thing, her mother is dark-skinned Indian. She's not even like a Nikki Haley Indian. She's darker than me. Her mom darker than me, and I'm Black. So all this question about what she is and the brown paper test, My thing about it is that regardless of this mixed heritage that I think a lot of us have, if we go up our family tree, right?
Absolutely.
This is a woman who has always identified with her blackness.
Yeah.
She went to Howard University.
Yes.
You don't choose a school like Howard if you're confused about your racial identity. She pledged the oldest African-American intercollegiate sorority in the country.
You better preach.
That part.
You don't choose that if you're confused about your racial identity. She was the president of the Black Law School Association. How does that, like, where is this seeming confusion about where her ethnicity comes from? If a white person did all of that, we'd be asking them, are they black? Or, like, because it just doesn't add up. So this idea that she was running from her blackness at any point in her life just isn't borne out by her actions. I said this, and a lot of people have heard this. I said there's a way that Indians can deny their history. You change your name to Nikki, or you change your name to Bobby.
That's it.
Right?
Boom.
That's
Nikki
it.
Kamala's name, Big Kamala, it's on the birth
Kamala.
Bobby Jindal, Nikki Haley, come on.
She could have been calling herself Cam, or she could have shortened it and made it, user
She didn't do any of that.
She said, you're going to get it right. You're going to learn today. Y'all gonna learn.
And it's unfortunate. Because it's really like a white supremacist kind of situation. These are the things they do to just like add dissension. This was literally planted for us to question her, not for them to question her, but for the Black community to question her. And the sad part is so many people took the bait and have been online going, see, and I'm like, guys, like, what are we doing here? Like, we are playing checkers and they are playing chess. Are we really going to fall for this distraction? Like this, and like for Janet, like and later, like, I went down the rabbit hole and have just like, I was just uncovering like, what the heck is she thinking? What is like, girl? And D.L. Hughley put it very good. Like, D.L.
He put it good.
He said, while you're over here questioning whether she is Black, this is coming from a woman and a family where we question if they even want to be Black.
Wait, like, he said, while you over there breathing through a white woman's nose, baby, when I tell you the way the scream I scrumped, the screams that I scrumpted. Listen, can I just say, my 2 cents on this is, it is the flippancy. Hilton, you can tell us better than anyone here if that's a word. If not, that is a new BOP word.
It is one today.
You're welcome.
It is today.
The flippancy of Janet Jackson's commentary is dangerous and reckless, and it is irresponsible. And she should be silenced. Now, she has since apparently offered some little, apology.
She took that back. She took it back.
And now she took it back. Well, damn. Yeah. You know what?
It's a bell you can't unring, though.
It is. You can't.
It's so dangerous.
You can't unring that. We can't unread it, unhear it, unlearn it. That's just now we know who you are. But like you said, I think DL really spelled out something quite incredible. Gave us a great visual. Another way to look at this. And I just hope that the vast majority out there is learned enough to know we ain't thinking about her. No, this is not a shut up and dribble moment. This is a bitch. Open up a book. This is you have to hold yourself accountable for the news that you receive. Like, you are a citizen living in this country, in this land. Do not sit so high and look so low that you are above news and above politics and above, just fucking civil
and
service.
Spout very dangerous things.
I think the lesson. No, I was just going to say, I think that the lesson that's the thread through all of this is that people are having to learn, especially people in positions of influence, positions of power, have got to understand the weight of their words and that their words have effect. And the fact that Janet tripped and fell in the same puddle that J.D. Vance and Donald Trump fell in, is just ridiculous. Now, you're right, Christy. We don't hold Janet Jackson in any exalted enough position where she's a thought leader for the Black community. So it fell dead, but it's still enough to be exasperated.
It is dangerous.
Wait a minute. Like, why are you? How did you miss?
What's the point?
The lesson.
Yeah.
Like, how did you miss
Because
enough class
you
to not know
right,
that this was not the move, right?
because we would
Yeah.
assume that she was informed enough about such things that because she wasn't or isn't or chooses not to be, just imagine again of her caliber, the way we view her societally, just imagine all the common folk,
Well, let me say this.
the regular degulars
Let
that
me
just
add
think just like
let
her.
me add another layer to this, because we went down the slippery slope. Me and my husband were so fascinated as to like, how the F did you get this wrong, girl? How did you do it? Because especially from a woman, a family who
The
has been
receipts.
who
The
has been
receipts coming.
raked over the coals. Like, we still don't know who them kids belong to that Michael Jackson
Hello.
See,
that
I was
showed
gonna
us.
say
You
it.
know what I'm saying? Like, it's been so
Blanket,
many
duvet,
questions.
all them.
Come
Yeah,
on,
and
blankets,
they all
duvet.
rushed to their defense, and we've supported them. Whatever, if that's what Michael Jackson want to do, fine. We
That's what y'all
don't
can do.
care. Like, that's what you gonna
Mm-mm.
do. Just take care of your kids, bruh. So, anyways, so we went down the rabbit hole of trying to like get to the bottom of this. Well, her manager currently is her brother, Randy Jackson, who is a huge Trump supporter.
Uh-huh.
Not Randy. Not Randy.
Randy, yes,
Not
Randy.
Randy.
And we just lost Tito.
Hey,
See, they over here distracting me, and we like,
slow
come
down,
on,
Tito.
man.
Damn.
Like,
Oh,
yeah. So
this is
this is the
crazy.
thing.
Mhm.
You are welcome in life to support and believe in whatever you want to believe in. But
True.
what you cannot do, and what is a non-negotiable, is you can't throw out misinformation as fact, or just I heard people, they said, and like, it's too dangerous. It's too dangerous. And like I said, you can believe whatever it is you want to believe in. I've gotten into more arguments with people. I've been more shocked and
Yeah.
bewildered at people. I still don't
What
understand
they
how you can
believe.
support someone who is a criminal, who is a sex offender, who
A
is
proven
a
racist.
liar. Yeah. And I even posted this video. It was such an intelligent video. I'm going to post it like probably every week because it was so good, where it was basically saying, okay, if you don't want to question whether or not he's racist, let's just go to the list that the FBI has for racist groups. These are documented racists, like KKK, the skinheads. Like, these are groups that the FBI has identified as dangerous. All of them support Trump.
Yes.
So when
Yes.
you sit here and say, I'm not racist, but I believe in his policies. Like, you have to go, okay, how do you feel going into the voter booth and going, I'm voting for the same people that the known racist, the dangerous terror groups, they support him too. This is their guy. So you really have to search your soul and come to grips with that. And go, this is what I'm going to be. And you got to be 10 toes down. Like, stop riding the fence and going, oh, I'm not a racist, but I just believe in his policies. No, be 10 toes down that you've now just said, I'm going to support hatred. I'm going to support liars, misinformation. I'm going to support the rat that's in the corner that is scared as hell of Kamala Harris.
You claim not to be a racist, but what we do know is that racism wasn't a deal breaker for you. That's the problem. Just because you're not throwing bricks at civil rights marches, and just because you're not, posting nooses and swastikas and burning crosses, you're still supporting the organizations that support him. And you have to ask yourself, like, what is it that the KKK and the Proud Boys and all these militia groups see in Trump that maybe I'm not looking at?
Right.
Like, what is it that he's saying that resonates and empowers them to do and be more of the hate groups that they are? And maybe maybe the individual doesn't have that kind of insight, but that's where you're kind of like, okay, I'll tell you right now, if I start seeing more, dents, dings, and problems with my car, I change my route to work. There's something wrong with the road I'm taking to my job. It must be too many potholes, too many
needed.
Just, you know what? Maybe I need to take this, get on the highway, get out of the neighborhood route, because these potholes and these stop signs and these speed bumps and these rocks and pieces of glass and craziness is messing with my car. Even though I can't see every one of them and I can't do a 1-to-1 comparison, A mechanic will tell you that. How you
Right.
get into work every day?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you
Listen.
going up such and such avenue? Yeah, that's a rough road. That's going to keep messing up your alignment. You better get on the highway if you can spare the time and add another 10 minutes to your commute. That's how you got to look at politics sometimes. We're not all doctors. We all don't have time to devote to this stuff.
Yeah.
But if I know that you're their guy, then I'm going to question whether or not you're going to be my guy.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
And
I think it's
also,
also I'm sorry.
go ahead. No, you go. I was just going to say one thing. I was just going to say, also you have to really think like the people that you love in your life, and you look at all the people in your life who you love. And if they're people of color, they're people in the LGBT community, they're women, you really have to think like, why would I vote for someone who are trying to hurt the people in my life? Why would I do that? It may not directly affect me, but why would I vote for someone who is actively working to hurt the people that I love? It has to be bigger than you. So, Christy?
Yep. I just want to say to Hilton's point that, and then I'm going to touch right there. Y'all, perfect segues. Thank you. But Hilton, know better, do better. That's really what the bottom line is. And that goes for so many things in life. And I think sadly, people try to make politics not personal when actually it is. And just to piggyback right off of what you said, Karen, it is, that is something to be considered with real focus and real attention to detail about how people, again, forget that this is personal. You have to treat this as I look at my daughter like I'm not going to have no more babies, but my child might. My kid, like I need my young Black woman daughter to be able to have autonomy over her own body, her own life choices, what is, healthy and right for her, because that's her life to live. And I just can't imagine rocking with somebody who says no, who wants her as a handmaiden. Like I can't do that. And that just,
for real.
Again, aside from all of the, because again, he's a racist. I ain't never had to question whether or not I feel I was wrong about despising him personally and professionally and in a random sense. I just don't like that person at all. And has never stood for anything that I believed in. And I don't, but again, we know better. We should do better.
Amen.
And that's where all of this comes from. Do your own research, but do qualified research. You can't go to Wiki. You can't do and let that be, the shade room can't be you have to do real research. It's cool to find those hot topics and headlines, but then dig deeper and go get some qualified, educated, informed, truth-telling, fact-based knowledge. People, please read a book.
Oh, talking about knowing better and doing better. Oh, it just don't get no better, guys. It don't. I'm not even speaking the King's English. It don't get no better because we knew for the last year that a lot of things have been coming out about Sean Diddy Combs. We saw the video of him physically abusing Cassie. We've heard the rumors for years. If you're in the entertainment industry or you're even around about it, like it's always been something about him. And what I learned really like in my 20s was that he was just not a nice person. Like he was creepy. He wasn't nice, I don't know the man personally. Luckily none of my friends, I had a couple of friends who worked for a company that was like his not for him, but the management company that worked for him. And they were like, he's so terrible to us. He's terrible to everybody. So that's kind of where I've always had my inside track on it. But guys, he was indicted, honey, like a lot of charges and arrested in New York. And let me just say this, when the FBI and Homeland Security come and arrest you, you better believe that they have a full case that they have built. They don't just come and like on speculation. For a long time. They had took their time and people were like kind of upset and they were mad because like that whole video of Cassie came out quite a while ago. And then, after we saw that video, we saw like the raid, like his homes were raided, one in Miami, one in LA. And they were like, why hasn't anything happened? Or they didn't find nothing, or he, it was just all this stuff. Like every time you give people time, they're just gonna talk. And Well, they found a lot of things. Like they found videotapes. They have evidence of these freak offs that he was having where they were drug fueled orgies. I don't know any other way to say it, but it was, there were prostitutes, male prostitutes. There were women there who were there drugged, and he kept them drugged, men and women. He kept them drugged, and there were things that were done to them for his satisfaction, his sexual satisfaction, and they were hostages and they were held captive. I mean, it was like, it's some crazy stuff. It was 14 pages of crazy. Like, it was like, I was just thinking, like, I knew it was bad, but we just did not know it was that bad. Like, I just remember me and my husband were sitting there and we were just like, floored at the things that we were hearing and the stories that were coming out. And one of the things that was, my husband was like, he kind of captured like my thought process, because around that time in the 90s and 2000s, you know, it was like you had Puffy and then you had like gangster rap. You know, and it was like East Coast, West Coast, right? Yeah. And so my husband was like, he never clung to gangster rap, only because he was from LA. He was born and raised in South Central LA. So he was like, not that we didn't love it. Trust me, you put on some Tupac, you put on some, like we're loving it, right? But it was just one of those things that it was like, it was almost like talking about the trauma of his childhood. So it was something he just did not, like, he liked it to a certain extent. But it was like, but we were in the club dancing to every bad boy song. Like Puffy was the party. Like it was the party. He had all the hits, all the jams. Like it was everything, right? And so to find out all this time, this was a monster. And like these stories are dating back to then. It's not even like it just started. This was like college that he was beating up girls, and like it's like everybody's coming out and talking. Crazy. And I mean, I just want to get your thoughts, because you guys were all about the same age. And I mean, it was like, I mean, the memes, everybody, I mean, it's just been so much.
The internet
is going to get worse. You have done, people, if you haven't had a chance to look at a news source and at least scan the 14 pages, this is a fairly detailed indictment of the specifics of what was done or what they have evidence that was done. And he had hundreds of hidden cameras all throughout his mansions. And he had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of files of video of people doing compromising things, right? And these are the people who were at the Puffy party were all rich and famous. It wasn't like it was a club that you paid $20
like
to view video.
Got in.
Nah, it's like Jodeci, the Brat, you know,
everybody,
the 112, like everybody Jay-Z. Be at his parties, Jay-Z, all these people. And so basically he was taking video and he was getting these people drugged. He was getting these people high. He was getting these people drunk. And then he was putting them in these compromising positions, mostly sexual, where they were videoed or audioed or there was photographic evidence. And then he held that over them. And if you ask, well, why hasn't somebody come forward? It's like, well, if you're somebody who is active in the entertainment field, still active, and your image in this world, especially, you know, even more so than in the 90s, is all you got. Like it's even more important than your music is your digital identity. If you say something about Puffy and then all of a sudden your stuff gets leaked anonymously or whatever, you're done. You're a punchline. So you talk about all the people that are whose names are going to come out because the government don't give a shit. They don't. If they find out that you did something, the evidence for this is not just about the crime of videoing people in these compromising positions. The crimes that were being committed by the people who were being videoed are also the subsequent follow-up that is the other 100 or so shoes that are going to drop over the next year or so. And so this is why it's more detrimental even than the Epstein thing, because all you really had with Epstein was like flight logs and photos of people hanging with him. He had some distraction. He wasn't
these young teenage girls couldn't they didn't have any.
He wasn't leveraging his operation to influence and move his career forward. This was just something he was doing as a sicko. Puffy was doing this stuff as a sicko in order to advance his career and to kind of build a hedge and leverage opportunities. You ever wonder why somebody like him who don't rap, don't sing, his label, if you think about who was actually signed to Bad Boy, it really wasn't all the people that we attributed to Bad Boy. Like, we attributed Jodeci to Bad Boy, never signed with Bad Boy.
No.
We attributed Mary J. Blige to Bad Boy, never signed with Bad Boy.
Yeah.
Little Kim was not on Bad Boy. So you think about the people he was actually signed with versus the influence that he had over the decades. A lot of it comes from him hanging this stuff over people's heads, right? So that is where this rumor mill is going to get fueled, because we got people, like you said, like Jay-Z was at his parties, Beyonce was at his parties, there were Jacksons at his parties. Who was not at his parties is a shorter list than who was, right, over the years. And I'll be honest with you, they got him on suicide watch now.
Yeah.
I think the Illuminati has got the Winter Soldier on thaw. On out Bucky Barnes right now. And this brother's going to slip in the shower. It ain't a shower. It just might be some steps. He might fall out a window at a prison.
Right.
I mean, but I'll tell you what
there's so many people who have so much to lose.
Listen, and so you cannot understate the impact of what has happened. Yeah. And the fact that he's like, oh, well, why didn't they come out? I'm like, that's why. Mm-hmm. He has everybody by the short hairs, and the only reason why people are coming out now is because he's in prison. Yeah, he no longer has access to these files. So now all these people are coming out. They on TMZ, they on Vlad, they're on YouTube, telling their stories and all this stuff. Yeah, and you're like, well, where were you 5-10 years ago?
Well, and they were scared. They were scared. Like, there's even murder allegations that he could potentially be tied to.
I'm waiting for the Tupac stuff to drop.
Yes,
because he was already suspect. Yes. They already had connected him.
Yeah,
but weren't able to make a case about it. They had already connected him to the guy who actually did the shooting.
Yeah.
But they weren't able to make much more hay than that. Yeah. And those are the kind of things that come when you record everything. Nixon was felled by the same thing.
Yeah.
Nixon recorded everything that happened in the Oval Office, and that's why he got caught. Diddy recorded everything that happened at Bad Boy and at his two men.
Sicko.
And that's why he got caught.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's really creepy, which is an understatement.
Right. Yeah. What's worse than creepy?
There's something really dark and twisted about a person that would go to such lengths for personal gain. Because really, what are you gaining? Like, what could you possibly gain? I mean, that's really, substantial, and that's really like something real. It's not tangible, what he has done this for. So there's something seriously psychologically, neurologically wrong here. No mercy, no pity for that. But that is a dark place to be. And sadly, as you mentioned, the early, the 2000s, we were in it, and that was so glamorized. And so, I mean, if you ain't doing this every time you hear wave your rollie side to side, it is iconic. And again, I don't fault that, because again, it was a trend. It was something that we've all, and it made its mark in music. We can give it that much.
Yeah.
I mean, Biggie played a big role in that. Again, I don't know what I don't know what even that's going to come to. I don't know. We don't know. And I will say this. I appreciate the people that have come out and said,
yes,
plainly, listen, you had to know when to leave the party. We knew when to leave the party. We can see all these pictures of everybody there. And I think that's great. And there is always, he clearly is a dual-sided person. He is a lot of personalities are in there, trapped in there. And he put on a facade in one way, in one light. And then when the lights went out, he was a different person. And that's the monstrosity, I guess, of all of that put together. So I don't fault people for being present at certain things, I guess.
Well, this is the thing. Mostly, it was the hottest ticket in town. So no one suspected the devilish behavior that was going on. No one suspected.
But some of them was there.
Yeah, but it was the ticket. It was the hot ticket in town. You think about everybody who's in the hip hop community has been at one of those parties. And that's not to say that they were involved in something like that, but it just, I mean, gosh, if anybody was, And now, all these tapes are in the custody of the FBI. It's like you got a whole lot of people sweating bullets.
Yeah.
And what a disappointment. Like, what a disappointment to have that level of success. I mean, to have that much
now ill-gotten.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he could have been putting his efforts into saving communities and like teaching children. And here you are bussing in people. And like, this is the thing. His kids, them older boys, they're tied into it too. Yeah. Like, I know he is praying to God they don't get arrested next, because from what I understand, and this is allegedly, they were bussing in women. Like, they were bringing in all the young girls, and it was like, bring them in, bring them in.
That's going to give you the years right there. The human trafficking. The
Trafficking.
stuff that we find the least tasteful and the most creepy and abhorrent are not the criminal charges that are going to put him away for the longest period of time. Those federal charges for things like human trafficking are what's going to keep you under the prison. And I'm going to speak out of turn real quick. It just as a player trying to recognize game. Like, Diddy knew this was coming. Diddy knew this was coming for years.
Yes, he
did. When he gave all those artists back their publishing,
it was all to shut them up.
NDAs so that they couldn't testify, because he knew that something was happening. Where he screwed up on two fronts is that he stalled Cassie's bid for money for that $30 million until she was forced to file the charges, the lawsuit, and put all that evidence that she had put together and threatened to put in before that new law about the new statute of limitations around sexual assault. So she had to file because he was trying to run out the clock. Yeah. If he had not done that, this might have gone on another 10
and
years.
That's spite. Like, that's the ego. That ego stepped in and was like, I ain't paying her.
He settled the next day. I'm like, see, this is where the ego come in. Yeah. And where he screwed up on the second front is that this hammer is driving. Why are you not in Budapest right now? Like, why did you not immediately, while you were free,
like, it's
pack a bag
the ego
and fly?
Well, the untouchable.
I mean, like,
I'm that untouchable. I think he thought at one point
he really thought that
somehow he had to think somehow he was untouchable. But when the federal, this is not some local prosecutor getting you for child support. This is the federal government, and if they raided,
wait.
Diddy knew what was in those houses. He knew what was in those mansions. It's not like they snuck in and he had to ask. Like, they scraped all of his mansions out. Why he wasn't on a plane?
But watch this. Watch this. You want to know why? Oh! I'm gonna bring it home. Let's land. I'm landing the plane. Listen, you don't want to know why? Because we elected a motherfucker like Trump in office, and that's why. This he is still on the ballot.
You're untouchable.
How is he on the ballot? How is this motherfucker still a viable candidate in the U.S. of A? That's why. And a person, a thing, he thinks that they all do. They all put him on the pedestal, baby, in them eras, and in the music, and in all of the things. He is an icon and an idol to people like Puff Diddy. I just hate saying certain names. I hate saying Trump, and I hate saying Diddy now. Like, I just hate it. But that's exactly why he did not get on a plane, because I'm untouchable. I took all the pages out of Trump's book. Yeah. I took all the pages. I went to his university. Good. I did all the things. I'm a student of Trump, and he got away. He keeps getting away. Yeah. I'm gonna get away. I'm gonna get off. Look what I've done.
I got money too. I
got more money than he's got. I'm gonna be able to do this
way more.
And this is what's so crazy. Like, he believed that. He literally, like, just like that. It's like the audacity. But you know what? Prayers out to all of the people who were victimized.
Actual
victims. There are hundreds, if not thousands. We don't even know. Like, they were victimized. And like, I had a conversation with some friends, and they were like criticizing, like, the video that came out of Cassie, and like, why was she standing at the elevator and pushing the thing and kind of just like, and I go, because she was drugged. Like she probably was still drugged.
Yeah.
And the fact that she was able to get out of that room, like they're talking like major drugs, ketamine and like ecstasy, and like they weren't just like drugging them with some weed. It was like some drugs were injected into them. And like let's just say what she described, it was hours and days of rape and things like, you know what I'm saying? Like how, like, I don't even understand why y'all think that this woman, like that was the thing. My heart just bleeds. Like because there's probably 100 other women who don't have Cassie's name and don't have her notoriety, and the same thing happened to them by him or his people or his circle or whomever. And
women and boys.
Yes.
I mean, there's men that are
at the
coming
bottom
out
of
this bucket as well. And that's the thing that I think people are going to have the hardest time trying to wrap their head around, is that he was an equal opportunity exploiter.
Yeah. Please, and you know what? And I apologize for not saying women and men, because this is the thing. As a society, we've never recognized men who've been sexually abused, and this is real in the field. And oh my gosh!
Now listen. It is not an accident that Usher Raymond deleted 7,000 tweets from his Twitter account. Puff Daddy adopted basically a young Usher Raymond at age 15, moved him to Atlanta to his mansion, and Puffy lived with Usher in that mansion for years. And you're just thinking to yourself, like, okay, let's just be devil's advocates here. Do you think he kept Usher away from all this stuff until he was 18 or 21 or something like that? For 3 years, he kept him away from all this. Usher has talked about freak offs for years. He's talked about how Diddy exposed him to his first orgy and all this stuff. But people forget the chronology here. I'm like, you was living with Puffy when you was 14 and 15 years old.
Yeah.
Like, so you talking about when he, but nobody ever took it that next step, say, well, what year was this that he exposed you to your first orgy? Like,
right.
Like,
how old were you?
Yeah. How old were you? And what was happening in that mansion? I mean, because look, let's keep it.
What you should not have been seeing.
We love Usher as an artist, and the best that we can tell, Usher's never directly harmed anybody in this way. I mean, it's based on what we know now.
For what we know.
But Usher's weird. Like, Usher is not your normal cat as far as his personal peccadillos. We know that.
Yeah.
And so where did that come from? Like, where was that stoked? Where did that pivotal watershed?
I mean, multiple marriages, multiple womanizing. Remember, he had a whole messy divorces. I mean, it's been a lot of things that have.
Yeah. So these are the questions that have come out, so because like I said, it's not just Usher. Now we talking about Justin Bieber. Now, who are these other boy bands and boy groups that we see him in, young rappers that are coming out or coming out at certain points in time that were under his wing, so to speak. And, people joke and laugh like we're waiting for Farnsworth Bentley to come out of hiding.
Yeah. For real.
He's probably protected. He's probably being protected. Right now.
You know what though? There are so many people who are right there. There are so many of his security guards and middle managers and second string accountants and people who were in the studio that weren't BOP or whatever, who are now on TV talking about what they saw. And you start putting the puzzle together, it all comes to what Christi was saying. This dude was on some shit. Yeah. And he was on some shit for 30 years.
It was awful.
Let's put this in context, because we're all of a certain age. Let's put this in context. The 90s wasn't 10 years ago. My brain stopped chronologically mapping out.
We selectively
that's where I froze. So when people start talking about 35 years ago, I'm thinking, oh, that's 1976.
Right. I'm like, what you talking about?
It was 1982.
Because I'm 30.
35 years ago.
They do the same thing.
35 years ago was 1991. You're like, wait,
right. I'm like, when did the clock keep going? And I left me. Like I stopped counting.
My battery ran out on my TikTok clock for years ago. And I'm like, dang, it's time you start doing the math.
Yeah.
So, if you think about when he started.
Yeah.
And look, I'm gonna say it because they dead and ain't nobody gonna sue me, but Andre Harrell was on the same shit.
Yep.
He was on the same shit. And Clive Davis was on the same shit.
Oh,
Clive Davis
was
Andre Harrell's mentor and low-key lover. and they had all kind of relationship. This is where Uptown came from. He don't just pop up out of nowhere. Uptown Entertainment just come out of nowhere. He's hidden it. When Diddy came in working for Uptown, he went around Andre and set up his own relationship with Clive Davis. And the same year that Diddy got Bad Boy,
you better have your facts.
Uptown folded the same year. And so Clive basically was like, "Okay, Andre, it's been nice. I'm not funding
my new young one
no more. I got a new guy." Right. So this is a cabal. This is
we've always known the music industry has been riddled with sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Like, you know, you hear all these stories.
Exactly. So where did he learn? Where did he learn that this was currency, that this was a way to go? This was instilled in him. Now, he had it in him, obviously, to be evil and
because he accepted it, and he's like, I accept this challenge.
Right. He's like, hold my beer.
Yeah, let me show you how I'm gonna take this up a notch.
I'm gonna do this. Like, oh, you know, and this is why Andre Harrell and Puff Daddy fell out for so many years. Like they were mortal enemies for decades because of that betrayal. Like, you went around to my benefactor, cut me off, got all those resources to get your own label. Uptown folded, and then you know, Bad Boy came up and ascended right away.
Think about all these mysterious deaths that have been around him.
It's a lot.
Like the Andre Harrells, the Biggies, the
even
Tupacs,
Sure.
the Kim Porter. Al B. Sure said a few years ago he tried to kill me. He tried to poison me, and everybody thought Al B. was crazy.
Oh, I thought you were about to say Al B. was dead. I was like, wait a minute.
No. He was in a coma near death. Near death. And luckily,
that's why he has had to rehabilitate his. He spent now the last year or so being, having to rehabilitate himself.
And people thought he was crazy and was like, But what was crazy for me was that everyone was online like, why are they denying his bail? Why they doing a black man wrong? And I'm like, guys, the hell up. We have to understand when we lost one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
lost one. You're right.
We lost one. Like, we cannot continue to like
black delegation.
Yes, the black delegation is not supporting rapists, criminal. We cannot even stand next to this. We mad Trump ain't in jail. Like, we mad. But you know what? That doesn't give him an excuse to not be in jail either. His bail needed to be denied. Like, he was literally texting. Like, he text somebody like 56 times and was he was trying to intimidate witnesses. Like, he knew the walls were closing in. And I'm surprised they got him. I'm surprised. Like, I was surprised he didn't jump off the Empire State Building before all this happened.
Well, like I say, he's in maximum security. He's on suicide watch. We saw what happened with Epstein.
Yeah,
we know what's possible, and like I said, it's he not. Say what you want about Diddy, he ain't built for life in prison.
Ooh,
this is not Suge Knight. He's not gonna cut an album from prison.
He is not built for this.
That is not. He is not built for that. No. And
there's
too many people in the downstream.
Yeah.
So like I said, Bucky Barnes is thawing out. They got him in that thaw cycle in the microwave.
Wait, but Cat Williams was like, Diddy's gonna start snitching. He about to tell everybody, because that's the other thing.
The Oracle has spoken. We need to.
He opened up the portal. Like, that was the thing. They said, why did someone talk to Cat Williams at the beginning of 2024? He opened up the portal, and like literally everything
he said nobody is safe. He said 2024, all that is in the dark will come to light.
I need him to close that portal.
It is still 2024.
I need him to close that portal.
Diddy went from free to in prison.
He went from the key to the city in New York to getting arrested in New York. Like,
I need some stock advice from this brother. I need to get the lotto numbers from him. I need all this.
Can we do that?
Cat Williams around here. Close the portal, Cat Williams.
It's too much. Can we need to take a pause.
That Club Shay Shay is just brutal.
Well, we can't talk about him.
Yeah, because he's another one to hit the news.
That's a whole other episode.
Like, guys, this is literally the scandal episode. Like, we didn't even plan this. We were supposed to talk about two other things, and we'd have lost Christy. It's the portal. The portal sucked her up.
Did he done found the recording?
No. Oh my gosh! Somebody check on Christi. Somebody check on her. Make sure Heaven and Sebastian are okay.
Go on CNN, see what's going on in her apartment building.
Call Anderson Cooper. The portal
Bucky Barnes got you.
We had search teams about to check on you, Heaven, and Sebastian.
Scale down the wall.
We thought Diddy done came and got you in New York because she's in the New York area. We thought she still ain't really connected. She's trying to fix it. The
Illuminati can do it.
Bucky Barnes, you're the closest, Chris. You're in the New York area. She can't even hear us. She don't even know what we're saying because she's not reacting.
The Illuminati done got her.
The Illuminati. Woo, Dana, I almost had you call Homeland Security. We almost had to. It was about to be real.
And that ain't even 911. We got to call like 902.
We got to call somebody. What's quicker? Is there a quicker? Is it just like one number? Like 1 9. Let's just like, what can we do? Shit is getting real. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we were supposed to talk about like 2 other things. Like we had something to review. We're obviously gonna have to put that in a different episode. But guys, this has been one of the most fascinating because it was literally like in the last couple weeks, all these crazy things have been happening. And like we have less than it's like 40 something days until the election. I don't know if you have registered to vote, but guys, if you are over 18, you're an adult. Go register to vote. Go start researching. And it's not just a presidential election. This is an election that will affect you. There are different people who are going to Congress, different people who are in the Senate. There are people, judges, there are school board, there are things that happen in your community that will directly affect your life, affect your kids, affect everything. So you have to be responsible. You have to vote. You have to, all those amendments and say vote yes on this and vote no on that. Like, I know it takes forever, but take 20 minutes and just look at it. And just, if you look at what is best for you and your family and really do the work because there's so much on the line. Hilton, I am I'm so inspired by Kamala Harris and her team. They've been running an excellent campaign, but I am so terrified of all the other people who could potentially try to steal this away from her. The cheating is on the potential.
Comfortable till she take the oath of office.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be comfortable then.
Yeah.
Because we saw what happened last go round. And Trump is already setting it up to do it again.
Yes.
And do it bigger, better, and worser.
Yeah.
And so the key is that for those of you who want to defeat Trump, it's not just about defeating Trump, it's about defeating Trumpism. This man has got to lose, and he's got to lose big. Why?
Yes.
Because Trumpism is more dangerous than Trump.
Yes.
And if we do not defeat him soundly and roundly, Trumpism will persist. It has to be known that Trumpism is on the ballot, and he has to win by so overwhelming a majority of numbers that the existing Republican Party abandons this crazy wing that has grown under their watch and corrects. They still might be crazy. They still might be mendacious. They still might have racist elements. But if we can just snap back to Mitt Romney. Let's just snap back to Mitt Romney.
And I didn't like him, but he is like an angel compared to some of these.
I didn't think the Republic was going to fall if he had beat Obama. There would have been 4 years of shitty tax policy, a couple of foreign conflicts I don't agree with, and some domestic policy that I really would have had a problem with. But the framework of our Constitution was going to be intact.
I didn't think it'd be the Handmaid's Tale. I didn't think it'd be Gilead.
We heading there.
It's scary. Project 2025. If you have not read it, there are plenty of people who are breaking it down on the internet. You can easily go and they'll break it down for you. But I say read it yourself. But if you can't do that, I mean, there are a lot of people who are so savvy and they're lawyers and they're breaking it down. So just do your research. Just register to vote. Please, guys. Please, if you're over 18, I literally have 2 nephews who are over 18 come election day. And I am so excited that this is the first time that they are, gonna vote. They're registered, they're excited. They are
early
just
voting has already started in 2
Yeah,
states. I can't remember which two, but you can do mail-in ballots starting like yesterday.
Yeah.
Like the voting has already begun in 2
already.
states. So
Already.
there's no excuse.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait till election day.
No.
You don't have to go stand in no line, take off work.
No.
You can vote absentee. Just write your precinct, and they will send you a ballot.
Yes.
And you go and you drop it off, and then it's done.
Yeah.
So it will eventually get counted. I vote absentee because I ain't standing in no line.
Right.
In the
Me
black
too.
parts of town, they trying to have my whole day up in this joint.
Yeah. I used to love to stand in line just because I was like, I want to go into that booth. I want to do it. And now I'm like, no, I don't have time for that. But yes, please, people. So guys, that's the end of our show. Christy's finally back.
She's back, and we can hear her. She's alive,
we were sending out the Coast Guard. I was like, I need to go check on Kevin and Sebastian because she in New York, and Diddy people done came and got her. They came and got her.
Me out the window, child. They are coming. Can y'all hear me? I don't even know.
Yes, we can hear you.
He said they was dangling out the window like Big Red from the 5 Heartbeats.
Oh, shut up. My office hours. Yes. But you were talking about voting, and I just have to say this. Absolutely. You know how serious I'm taking it.
Yes.
I'm not trusting mailing in. I'm registered in Texas.
Yes.
I'm flying I'm going to go to Texas after our last show.
Yeah.
And I'll be there to vote at the Martin Luther King Center in sunny South Dallas. Y'all come find me on November.
You gotta get some footage of that for the BOP.
Absolutely.
That's a trip right
you know I am.
That's a trip.
That is amazing. Guys, do the right thing. This is the BOP, the Blerd official podcast. We love you. We mean it. We'll catch you guys next time. Register to vote, please.
Fight the power. Fight the power.
Tune in every Tuesday for a new episode of the BOP, the Blerd official podcast.